Okay, my friends. Back for another episode of Political Point Magazine. You are watching Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right and the left, well, the left is always on the wrong side of history. Why? Because political minds want to know. So enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup. With tonight's top stories. Well. Everything is coming out together there. Once again, we have another chapter of Hillary is politically damaged goods. It's HillaryGate Part 6. Rebranding the Hillary brand. As Hillary puts together her campaign to run for president, she's rebranding and reinventing herself. That won't fly well. And also, the 2016 sweepstakes are coming into play, as first it was Cruz, now Rand Paul and Marco Rubio step into the fray. And I hate to say it, but Iran is walking away from the nuclear deal, and it's not putting a good light on Obama there. And Dzhokhar Tsarnaev guilty on all counts. We hope he gets the death penalty. And also, the Rolling Stone magazine is now put to shame as they printed out a false rape story. And you can tag on another Democrat to the corruption train there. Robert Menendez from New Jersey gets indicted for corruption and all sorts of other stuff. And we will talk to you, the viewers, as we take it to the phones on all of this and more on tonight's episode of Political Point Magazine. Alright. I am your humble host, William Mitro. Alright. Welcome, everyone. And tonight we are on another edition of Political Point Magazine, as things are now shaping up to be coming as we come into the play here, because now things are coming together. As I want to get into my top story here, which is ironically Hillary Clinton, okay, is has now geared up for her campaign, and see, we all know that she has failed on a lot of things here. Okay, so, but anyway, it's Hillary Clinton, HillaryGate Part 6. Now, we all know that the scandal that she deleted her server, and that is now creating a burden for her, because now she is it's dropping her poll numbers and everything else. All right, but it now turns out that she now comes across as somebody that is not ready for prime time. All right, and as this comes into play here, all right, but you know, I want to bring up something now I want to bring up something here, right? Because Hillary yesterday, and and now it is obvious that Hillary just doesn't have what it takes, and she's low there in the polls. In fact, now recent polls have come up, and they have shown that that most Americans don't find Hillary trustworthy. All right, they believe that she has lied and misled the public, mind you. All right, but she now at long last, okay, she comes in, and now I want you to take a look at this, because now she is, and this comes apparent now in a time when the email scandal has gotten all riled up, and there's the controversy over the foreign contributions, and now as she put out her 2-minute ad for her announcement, okay, now this starts the rebranding of Hillary. All right, because we all know that now when you watch this thing, all right, I want you to see how drastically she tries to repaint herself and repaint her image, and it's so typical of Hillary that once all the scandals have riled up, she tries to take the focus and tries to repaint herself, and that's not gonna bode well with the voters. I guarantee you that. So take a look at this, all right? Because my friends, it's just not. But Hillary Clinton's ad, all right? Hillary Clinton's announcement, which is watered down and features of all things normal everyday people, but we all know that she doesn't really relate to the average everyday person. All right, but take a look. All right, oops. All right, but take a look. Here we go. Okay. Oops.
I'm getting ready for a lot of things. A lot of things.
It's spring, so we're starting to get the gardens ready, and my tomatoes are legendary here in my own neighborhood.
My daughter is about to start kindergarten next year, and so we're moving just so she can belong to a better school.
Mi hermano y yo estamos empezando un primer negocio.
After 5 years of raising my children, I am now going back to work.
Every day we're trying to get more ready and more prepared.
Baby boy, coming your way.
Right now I'm applying for jobs. It's a look into what the real world will look like after college.
I'm getting married this summer to someone I really care about.
I'm gonna be in a play and I'm gonna be in a fish costume. From little tiny fishes.
I'm getting ready to retire soon. Retirement means reinventing yourself in many ways.
Well, we've been doing a lot of home renovations.
But most importantly, we really just want to teach our dog to quit eating the trash.
And so we have high hopes for 2015 that that's going to happen.
I've started a new career recently. This is a 5th-generation company, which means a lot to me. This country was founded on hard work, and it really feels good to be a part of that.
I'm getting ready to do something too. I'm running for president. Americans have fought their way back from tough economic times, but the deck is still stacked in favor of those at the top. Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion.
So you can do more than just get by. You can get ahead and stay ahead, because when families are strong. So I'm hitting the road to earn your vote, because it's your time, and I hope you'll join me on this journey.
Oh my God, that is just sickening. I mean, how does she expect to overcome the fury here? I mean, and a lot of people like to claim that she's the inevitable candidate. Ultimately, she's the first and only Democrat that has thrown her hat in the ring. But she's not the one for the job. All right. Now it's ultimately clear and that Hillary is not ready for prime time, and she's definitely disastrous for the country. All right. It would be another third term. It would be a third term of Barack Obama's policies. All right, and it would just be a disaster. And in that ad, you know that she is just rebranding herself, and trying to cover up all of the scandals, as if, you know, her announcement was basically covering up her true self. You know, this is not the Hillary that we all know. The Hillary that we all know is entrenched in scandals. You know, and you know, this is the Hillary that has misled us on Benghazi, of all things. You know, and it's just ridiculous. You know, we all know that she is not ready for prime time. And in fact, all right, okay, you remember, okay, in fact, okay, she is definitely not ready for prime time. In fact, all right, now you know that you know, she misled us on Benghazi, and you know, in fact, remember, let me play the clip. Okay, you remember Benghazi. You remember Benghazi. Remember this? All right, take a look.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
It makes a lot of difference, you know. And she tried to paint herself, you know, during the 2014 election. You know, she tried to paint herself as the average human, the average person. Remember this?
Out of the White House, not only dead broke, but in debt. We had no money when we got there, and we struggled to, you know, piece together the resources for mortgages, for houses, for Chelsea's education. You know, it was not easy.
Really? Now, we all know that she's loaded with money, you know, and everything that she just said in that statement was bogus, you know, and then you remember back when she was campaigning back in 2008, or what's that, 2008, 2007? Oh. Yeah, right here.
Standing under sniper fire. There was supposed to be some kind of a greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down to get into the vehicles to get to our base.
Liar, pants on fire. You know, that's just... Yeah, she claimed that she was under sniper fire. We can't trust Hillary. All right? We can't trust Hillary. What has she accomplished? You know, she hasn't accomplished anything. You know, in her tenure as Secretary of State, you know, it's just, and you know, she even shows that she's so out of touch. She goes to a rally of mostly Southern blacks, mostly Southern blacks, and oh, this is the one that really shocked me. All right, but she goes. All right, and I'm gonna show you this because this is you need to see this. All right, because Hillary is not this is not the Hillary that we all know. But listen, but look at this. All right.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
That's just ridiculous. Oh, and let's not forget that she didn't want you to believe that that corporations and businesses create jobs. She's just so out of touch with reality here. Okay, now, and you know, and upon all of this though, okay, I wanna get into this now. When asked what he thought of Hillary, President Obama didn't really endorse her, but I just want to show you this, okay? Now this was not an endorsement, okay? But this was not an endorsement of the former Secretary of State. But take a look at what Barack Obama said recently of the First Lady, or the former Secretary of State. All right. Okay. So take a look at this. and okay, this is not an endorsement.
My friend, I think she would be an excellent president, and I'm not on the ballot. So, you know, I'm not going to step on her lines when she makes a decision to announce.
Remember last time he said that he wasn't on the ballot? The election turned out to be but his policies were on the ballot, and they were it was a referendum on his failed policies. So, that said, that means Hillary's not going to make it. Okay, Hillary's not going to make it. So, and here's why I think, okay, that now, if you can claim inevitability, now, all right, now a lot of liberals out there they claim that Hillary's the inevitable candidate, all right, but there's a Quinnipiac poll. There's a recent Quinnipiac poll right here. Hillary Clinton, is she honest and trustworthy? Okay, she's not that popular. All right, 49%, nearly half. Okay, said that she was not trustworthy. 43% said yes, but 8% didn't know. Okay, so with all of this forming, and let's not forget let's not forget what let's not forget let's not forget what former Governor Deval Patrick has said about Hillary. Okay, take a look at this. All right.
Governor Deval Patrick.
I think that the narrative that it's inevitable is off-putting to regular voters. I just think that people read inevitability as entitlement. And they want, and the American people want and ought to want their candidates to sweat for the job, you know, to actually make a case for why they're the right person at the right time.
I quite agree. So even Deval Patrick, he's a Democrat, saying that Hillary is not the inevitable, you know. So with this in mind, my friends, okay, it's quite interesting how things are shaping up to be. And now we roll out with the 2016 sweepstakes. All right. Okay. Now, just even last week. Okay, last week we have confirmation of Rand Paul being the second Republican to throw his hat in the ring. All right, and this is truly and quite amazing. All right, but Rand Paul has thrown his hat in the ring. All right, and so as this comes to pass here, all right, but Rand Paul has thrown his hat in the ring, and I have been a big supporter of Rand Paul. All right, I think he can inevitably do it. All right, but I'm gonna show some clips of Rand Paul here as it comes into pass here. Here it comes.
Rescue a great country now adrift. Join me as together we seek a new vision for America. Today, I announce with God's help, with the help of liberty lovers everywhere, that I am putting myself forward as a candidate for President of the United States of America.
Now, I want to show you at the beginning of his speech. All right. Now, this is truly fascinating. At the beginning of his speech, they were all chanting, President Paul, President Paul, President Paul, President Paul. All right. But, yeah, take a look.
Supposed to win.
All right, wait. Hold up a second. Okay, but anyhow. Let me show you some of his most popular lines here. All right, but anyhow. All right. And I want you to notice the difference between President Paul, or between Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, and I'm gonna get into Marco Rubio in a moment as well too. But I want you to notice, okay, a lot of things here. All right, but anyhow, here is. All right, but anyhow, here is, okay, Rand Paul comes in second in the polls, by the way. But here we go, and let me get into a lot of Rand Paul's.
Supposed to win. No one thought I would. Some people ask me, then why are you running? The answer is the same now as it was then. I have a vision for America. I want to be part of a return to prosperity, a true economic boom that lifts all Americans, a return to a government restrained by the Constitution. A return to privacy, opportunity, liberty. Too often, when Republicans have won, we've squandered our victory by becoming part of the Washington machine. That's not who I am. That's not why I ran for office the first time just a few years ago. The truth is, I love my life as a small-town doctor. Every day I woke up, I felt lucky to be able to do the things I love. More importantly, I was blessed to be able to do things that made a difference in people's lives. I never could have done any of this, though, without the help of my parents, who are here today. I'd like you to join me and thank my mother and dad. With my parents' help, I was able to make it through long years of medical training to become an eye surgeon. For me, there's nothing that compares with helping someone see better. Last August, I was privileged to travel to Guatemala on a medical mission trip. Together with a team of surgeons from across the U.S., we operated on more than 200 people who were blind or nearly blind from cataracts. I was grateful to be able to put my scrubs back on, peer into the oculars of the microscope, and focus on the task at hand, to take a surgical approach to fix a problem. One day in Guatemala, a man arrived and told me that I had operated on his wife the day before. His wife could see clearly for the first time in years, and she had begged him to get on the bus, travel the winding roads, and come back to our surgery center. He too was nearly blind from hardened cataracts. After his surgery, the next day, his wife sat next to me. As I unveiled the patch from his eyes, it was a powerful, emotional moment for me to see them looking at each other clearly for the first time in years, to see the face they loved again. As I saw the joy in their eyes, I thought, this is why I became a doctor. In that moment, I also remembered my grandmother, who inspired me to become an eye surgeon. She spent hours with me as a kid. We would sort through her old coin collection, looking for wheat pennies and Indian heads. But as her vision began to fail, I became her eyes to inspect the faintness of the mint marks on the old weather-worn coins. I went with my grandmother to the ophthalmologist as she had her corneas replaced. I was also with her when she received the sad news that macular degeneration had done irreparable harm to her eyes. My hope that my grandmother would see again made me want to become an eye surgeon, to make a difference in people's lives. I've been fortunate. I've been able to enjoy the American dream. I worry, though, that the opportunity and hope are slipping away for our sons and daughters.
Kentucky.
I wasn't.
And I think the economy for him.
Oops, sorry about that. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay.
Supposed to win. As I watch our once great economy collapse under mounting spending and debt, I think, what kind of America will our grandchildren see? It seems to me that both parties and the entire political system are to blame. Big government and debt doubled under a Republican administration. And it's now tripling under Barack Obama's watch. President Obama is on course to add more debt than all of the previous presidents combined. We borrow $1 million a minute. This vast accumulation of debt threatens not just our economy, but our security. We can wake up now and do the right thing. Quit spending money we don't have. This message of liberty is for all Americans, Americans from all walks of life. The message of liberty, opportunity, and justice is for all Americans, whether you wear a suit, a uniform, or overalls, whether you're white or black, rich or poor. In order to restore America, one thing is for certain, though. We must not dilute our message or give up on our principles. If we nominate a candidate who is simply Democrat light, what's the point? Why bother? We need to boldly proclaim our vision for America. We need to go boldly forth under the banner of liberty that clutches the Constitution in one hand and the Bill of Rights in the other.
That's my favorite line. Yes. Rand Paul, speaking out for liberty.
Washington is horribly broken. I fear it can't be fixed from within. We, the people, must rise up and demand action. Congress will never balance the budget unless you force them to do so. Congress has an abysmal record with balancing anything. Our only recourse is to force Congress to balance the budget with a constitutional amendment. I have been to Washington, and let me tell you, there is no monopoly on knowledge there. I ran for office because we have too many career politicians. I believe it now more than ever. We limit the president to 2 terms. It's about time we limit the terms of Congress.
I quite agree. Term limits is the solution to get rid of all the corrupt politicians.
I want to reform Washington. I want common sense rules that will break the logjam in Congress. That's why I've introduced a Read the Bills Act. The bills are 1,000 pages long and no one reads them. They are often plopped on our desk with only a few hours before a vote. So I've proposed something truly extraordinary. Let's read the bills, every page.
I agree there too. We need to read the bills before we pass them. Crying out loud. This is why Obamacare was such a disaster. 2,800 pages and nobody read the bill.
From the time I was a very young boy, I was taught to love and appreciate America.
Okay, now, so Rand Paul runs for president, and guess who else just today has thrown his hat in the ring? All right, Marco Rubio, senator from Florida. All right, now there's a lot of talk about Marco Rubio now, that if he comes into the fray, all right, and and he comes into the fray now, and if it's like the Marco Rubio comes into the fray, and he's from Florida, and so is Jeb Bush. Now they are saying that there's going to be challenges between Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush, but I think that if Rubio teamed up with Jeb Bush, all right, for the presidency, they would call the ticket Jebio. But anyhow, I'm going to get into Marco Rubio. Okay, right here.
And they transformed this country into the leading economy in the world. And the 20th century became the American century. Well, now the time has come for our generation to lead the way towards a new American century. If we reform our tax code and reduce regulations and control spending and modernize our immigration laws and repeal and replace Obamacare, if we do these things, the American people will create millions of better paying modern jobs. If we create a 21st century system of higher education that provides working Americans the chance to acquire the skills they need, that no longer graduates students with mountains of debt and degrees that do not lead to jobs, and that graduates more students from high school ready to work,
Yes.
then our people will be prepared to seize their opportunities in this new economy. If we remember that the family, not the government, is the most important institution in our society. If we remember that all human life deserves protection of our laws. And if we remember that all parents deserve to choose the education that's right for their children, then we will have a strong people and a strong nation. And if America once again accepts the mantle of global leadership. By abandoning this administration's dangerous concessions to Iran and its hostility to Israel. By reversing the hollowing out of our military, by giving our men and women in uniform the resources, the care, and the gratitude that they deserve. By no longer being passive in the face of Chinese and Russian aggression. And by ending the near total disregard for the erosion of democracy and human rights around the world, especially Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. Then, if we did these things, then our nation would be safer, our world more stable, and our people more prosperous. These are the things that we must do. But this election is not just about what laws we're going to pass. This election is a generational choice about what kind of country we will be. Now, just yesterday, a leader from yesterday began a campaign for president by promising to take us back to yesterday. Yesterday is over. And we're never going back. You see, we Americans are proud of our history, but our country has always been about the future. And before us now is the opportunity to author the greatest chapter yet in the amazing story of America. But we can't do that by going back to the leaders and ideas of the past. We must change the decisions we are making by changing the people who are making them. And so, that is why tonight, grounded by the lessons of our history, but inspired by the promise of our future, I announce my candidacy for President of the United States.
All right, my friends. So, we have a wider field now. Okay, granted, it's mostly Republicans now, but I think Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, you know, they are the true winners. I think the momentum is with the Republicans. All right, in this race, but Hillary, like Rubio said, Hillary is yesterday. Hillary is yesterday's news. All right, we can't afford yesterday's news. All right, and that, my friends, is why we need a new course. All right, we need to get away from the failed policies of the Obama administration and get into the successful policies of the GOP. All right, but anyhow, this so you know what I felt like though as we were waiting for the the so-called 2-minute ad for Hillary's announcement, right? It it just reminded me of staring at that podium at the UN. But okay, so now we have this an expanded field. Okay, so we have Ted Cruz, who announced first, Rand Paul announced second, and Rubio third in line here. Okay, but he's third in line after Hillary played her 2-minute concealed ad, you know. But now we get into a serious matter here. A serious matter here with the Iranians. Okay, Iran is saying no deal. All right, Iran ultimately is saying no deal, because they want the Obama administration to lift the sanctions immediately. All right, but it's kind of on the back burner because there's confusion. All right, over all of this, but I want to show you here's some of what Iran, the main Ayatollah, okay, the supreme leader of Iran said about the deal. Here, take a look.
What has happened so far neither guarantees a deal or talks leading to a deal, nor does it guarantee the content of a deal. It guarantees none. It doesn't even guarantee the talks will go on till the end and will lead to a deal.
We will not sign any agreement unless all economic sanctions are lifted at once, on the very first day of the implementation of the agreement.
The process of sanctions...
Well, anyhow, Iran is walking away from the deal, and they're saying no deal. And I seem to recall that Barack Obama did say that if we can't get a deal and Iran rejects it, then he would walk away. So where does this take us now? with we can't trust Iran, okay? It's deal or no deal on Iran, and by the way, Iran says no deal. All right, so that, my friends, is quite interesting. All right, now I want to get into some other things, and I'm going to put a lot of this up here, but for one now, okay, we have something that has gone on. All right, in the reporting, and guess what? It is. All right. Okay, and I'm gonna show you this. All right. But we're gonna put this in my Political Point magazine's Political Point Division. Okay. Now. Okay, take a look at this. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is found guilty of all 30 counts. All right, let's read to you some of the charges here. Okay. Conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction resulting in death. 2 counts of use of a weapon of mass destruction resulting in death, aiding and abetting. Possession and use. 9 counts of possession and use of firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence resulting in death, aiding and abetting. Then there's the conspiracy to bomb a place of public use, resulting in death. Bombing, and there's 2 counts of bombing of a place of public use, resulting in death, aiding and abetting. Then there's 2 counts of malicious destruction of property, resulting in personal injury and death, aiding and abetting. Okay, now there was 30 counts altogether. 17 of those counts were death penalty counts. And other counts were conspiracy to maliciously destroy property, resulting in personal injury and death. Carjacking, resulting in serious bodily injury, aiding and abetting. And there's 6 counts of possession and use of a firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence, aiding and abetting. Interference with commerce by threats and violence, aiding and abetting. And 4 counts of use of a weapon of mass destruction, aiding and abetting. So, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is guilty as sin on this. Guilty. I hope he gets the death penalty. Yeah, he deserves the death penalty, because that is a lot of what we can expect from some idiot like that. All right, but Dzhokhar Tsarnaev deserves the death penalty, and you had a jury that had an extremely complicated process there. All right, but now before I get to the phone lines, though, okay, I want to bring up something really important here. All right, I want to bring up something really important here, because it's quite crucial. We can add another Democrat to the list of corrupt politicians. And that's right. Okay. Robert Menendez is indicted for corruption and distortion and other things involving bribery for campaign funds, and this involves another doctor as well. All right, but it reminds me of it reminds me of the long list already of corrupt Democrats. You remember Rob Blagojevich, who tried to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat to the highest bidder, got indicted and convicted. You remember former Mayor Ray Nagin of New Orleans, got indicted for corruption and also okay, and whoops, also wrong one. Sorry about that. Remember Sheldon Silver, okay, former assemblyman from New York, got indicted for corruption. Oh, and let's not forget Elliot Spitzer as well. Okay, but on that note, okay, I want to take it to the phones, okay, because I'm not going to get into much more, okay, but anyhow, let's take it to the phones here. 272-0319. Okay, what is on your political mind? All right, okay, 272-3835 is the number. Okay, make sure that's on all the way. Hello, you're on the air. Guess not. All right, there we go. So 272-0319. All right, while I'm waiting for calls here, okay, we're gonna get into something really good here. All right, but I want to ask, okay, what do George H.W. Bush, this was in the USA Today, but what does George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama have in common? Well, it was in the USA Today that these four presidents have installed the very same data mining programs, only under George W. Bush. Okay, under George H.W. Bush, it was they were trying to track illegals in this country. All right, but that was the case there, or it was an immigration tracking system. Okay, very similar to the one that George W. Bush installed. Okay, and then under Clinton kind of had the very same tracking system that tracked phone calls and whatnot, and then that was to counter also illegals and crime and in this country. All right, because under Clinton he treated the terrorism issue as a crime, as a law enforcement issue instead of a terrorism issue. All right, but anyhow, and then President George W. Bush, we all know, that had the Patriot Act, and he expanded it to fighting terrorism, continuing the job of that. Continuing the job. All right, but anyhow, oh, and I want to get into something else too. Okay, the Rolling Stone magazine has fabricated a rape thing, a rape accusation, and it turns out the story was absolutely false, and they're in trouble. It was fabricated, and they just haven't learned, have they? They never learned anything from the Duke Lacrosse fake rape fabrication story. But anyhow, okay, that, my friends, is, as we are coming down to the wire here. All right, as things come into play here. All right, I want to we are coming down to the wire. 272-0319. We have a little bit of time. I know you have been paying attention here. I know everything is fine and dandy here. Yep. All right. But anyhow, yep. But anyhow, yeah, come on now. We know you're out there. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get into the last words for the night. That's it, as it is coming to be about that time. 272-0319. Number. I didn't get to speak about everything, but all right now. Come on, I know you're out there. Anyhow, let's get to the last words for the night. Alright, my friends, I'm so sorry, but it is about that time, and we seriously need to think about our future. Alright. Do we want to go back to the past with Hillary, or do we want to look to the future with Cruz or Rand Paul or Marco Rubio? All right, mind you, our future is in the hands of the beholders here. All right, but anyhow, it is quite interesting the way things are shaping out together. All right, but anyhow, all right. Anyhow, we leave you with this. All right. Okay. Now, we leave you with this. Okay. Saturday Night Live had a little spoof going on here. If I could get to the clip here. All right. But take a look at this. All right. Take a look at this. Oh, whoops. Actually, wait. No Hillary. Okay. But anyhow, take a look at this. I'm going to quickly get into this here. All right, but here it is. Oh, here we go.
I am running because I want to be a voice for women everywhere.
Did someone say women everywhere? Hillary, isn't it crazy that phones can take videos now? Yeah. I mean, if they could have done that in the 90s, I'd be in jail.
So true. All right, my friends, that's our show for tonight. We thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. Follow me on Twitter at WilliamMetro2 and catch us on YouTube. All right, we thank you for watching Political Point, where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. Vote Republican.